Good morning, Hoosier fans. Welcome to this victorious edition of the Hoosier Morning After Louisiana Tech. A game, yet again, we have another tale of two halves. Indiana was victorious 75-88. Kind of came out and played a really good start to the first half. Again, the first quarter, I would say the first third of the game was a good game. A lot of guys sharing the ball, a lot of ball movement, a lot of driving. Our guards did a good job of driving the ball, finding the guys, passes, moving off the ball, a lot of good shot choices. As Coach said in his post game, we're not going to be a high volume 3-point shooting team. He wants to see what that percentage is of a 3-point shooting team, as long as we are getting good looks, that those are going to go in. And that's what we saw in the first half. We saw a lot of good options, a lot of good decision making on shot selection within the first half. Something that did surprise me is that we didn't have Devontae Green starting. He looks like he's healthy. It looks like he's back in the rhythm. It's an interesting choice by Coach to have him come off the bench. I would think I want to see him later on definitely be a starter. We need him to set that tone defensively. When we get Rob back as well, having those two defensively as the guards, setting the tone on both sides of the court is going to be very important. The guys that were in there with Al and Armand did a good job of setting that tone anyways, having good stats. Joey Brunk had another successful start, played aggressive like he has been. When we were thrown the zone, he did a good job of finding the holes, flashing to the elbow. He had one time where he flashed to the elbow and had a very impressive kind of turnaround fadeaway that just splashed right in. I don't think hit a lick of rim. We got Deron Davis in there, but Deron Davis is I'm a little concerned because I don't know what's going on with him. I can't put my finger on it. He looks, I don't know if it's this early season, smaller, faster, more athletic lineups that he's struggling against. I don't know if possibly he doesn't have his rhythm, if he's still injured a little bit. It's hard to pinpoint. It's something that I can't put my finger on when I watch it, and I even kind of rewound a couple plays that I saw him in, and he doesn't look as aggressive as he has been. Really getting on the block and demanding that ball. I don't know. I hope everyone has a bad day. Everyone has a funky time. I hope that's what's going on with Deron. And I hope he finds it soon and we see him again. Then, I guess we have to talk about the second half. Second half, just an ugly start. We had 4 turnovers really quick. And we were lucky that Louisiana Tech did not capitalize on that. That they failed to score on those first 4 turnovers. They scored no points on them. We kind of seemed to the rest of the game keep and hold on to a 14-ish point lead. Never got down to single digits, luckily. I think that kind of would have been a little bit moral boost that would have kept them in it or got them back into it. But we had 9 turnovers in the first 16 possessions. That's uncalled for. That can't be. That comes from guys making passes and decisions that weren't there. I'm going to give a little bit of credit for that to Louisiana Tech. I'm also going to fault a little bit from the Princeton game. I believe we had some false lanes, passing lanes open, and success in the Princeton game. I didn't get to talk to you guys about the Princeton game, but that's about the most complete game overall for me that I was able to watch. Was really able to see a good team that was able to move the ball around in that game. Movement off the ball looked really good. And that was everything that wasn't there in the second half of this game. Um, Ball movement was forced, was trying to get there. That's what a lot of the turnovers were. The passes where they were received to guys weren't good. Some of the post guys were low passes that they couldn't handle, or they kind of pulled them down and got them into troubles with their defensive players, fumbling them away from them. But again, luckily it didn't, as negative and bad as to say, Louisiana Tech was not able to capitalize on that. I mean, they were in the first half 51% from field goal, and in the second half 46%. And then from three in the first half they were 42%, and then 36%. So yeah, I mean, against a better team, that would have spelled trouble. That would have been a very bad thing, because a better team would capitalize on those turnovers against us. I think, though, overall, if you were to kind of flip this game, reverse it, have us starting bad like that, and then surging at the end, we'd have a better taste in our mouth, at least right now. It's not like we had something very sweet. We ate our dessert first and then had to eat our broccoli after that. So we're tasting the broccoli at the end. If we would have been able to reverse it, it would have been like we ate our vegetables quickly and then we're able to enjoy dessert and walked away from the table satisfied. It doesn't have that feeling. There's a little bit of satisfaction because, yes, we got a full belly. Yes, we got the win. But the taste in the mouth is not a good one coming out of this game, and something that we need to have someone to come in there and calm the team down. I think that is Rob. We have seen that before this year. I think that was the Troy game where things were getting a little out of hand, and in the end of the first half, he was able to come in and kind of calm the team down, get guys to relax and do what they needed to do. We needed that in this game, and obviously Rob is out. Coach mentions it being something about myriad of problems, his abdomen issue. He's got something going on with his ribs when he was hit in the face the last game. So just kind of a lot of different things. Coach even quotes to saying, he's a guy you want to tape 5 Advils to. So he hasn't practiced. Hopefully he gets in practice again, but I can't argue too much because it's not like we have multiple guys out like we did last year. But injuries continue to kind of just nag on this IU team. Something that's kind of holds us back from finding that rhythm and getting the full complement of guys that we need in there to be in there. And that being said, we need to also have other guys step up. Our 2 captains need to step up when Rob is out like that. Al and Devontae, coach even mentioned that he talked to them, said that at the end of the game that they need to be those guys that go out there, calm down the team, to refocus the team when things get down, and talked about their impact on that and where he needs them to step up in that situation. So hopefully that kind of narrows it down and gets them refocused. So it's a game we will be able to learn a lot from. We will be able to take to the film room and find out more, find places to teach is definitely what the coaches will have from this. Again, I've said it a couple times. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to nail it in the head. Yes, we've had a cupcake schedule, and it's gotten increasingly harder as we've gone along. But I am happy that we are not just blowing away these teams, that we are having some struggles early, because those are things we can teach on and build on. If we just blow them out and have amazing success, a la kind of like we did last year, when we reach adversity to a degree, we at least know some way this team can handle it and aren't struggling to figure it out when we're too deep in our schedule. This team is just going to get better. I'm all about this team. I love everything about this team. The one thing we did do that we continue to do well is get to the free throw line. that is something, again, that coach has mentioned many times, that's something we're going to hang our hat on, and we sure did. We took care of that. Guys, we were 73% from a free throw line. Hey, let's rewind back. Remember when we were talking about that exhibition game? We saw all the numbers and everyone flipping out over the free throws we were making. Well, we fixed that. We're doing very well. Knock on wood. Got some wood over here. Knock on wood. We keep that going. That is something that we're going to be able to hang our hat on, with the depth and the physicality that we can be as a team this year. Is something that's going to look good. From three, we started off well. Looking at the numbers now, we were 46% in the first half. I'm gonna look more at that as far as a number for this team, because again, that was when the team was gelling, when we were making good shot selection. We were 0-for-6 in the second half, so again, we were forcing things at that point, and we were taking threes, a few ill-advised ones that we shouldn't take. Field goals, 61% in the first half. Again, you can just look at the stats and see how it was. 61% in the first half, 32% in the second half. Right there, you can see that comes from poor shot selection. Just entry passes into the post weren't there, so the guys weren't set up right to hit those down. Points in the paint, we had 34 points in the paint, 20 points over turnovers. Let's see what they had. They had 16 points over turnovers. So with our 18 turnovers, they only made 16 points. That's lucky. That's very, very lucky that they only made that many points off of these turnovers. So, yeah, I think overall, something to build on. Standout, obviously, is Trace Jackson-Davis. He continues to be an integral part of this team. Someone that's able to get to the free throw line. He shot 13, made 11, had 11 rebounds. He finished, obviously, with a double-double, 21 points and 11 rebounds. Someone that a lot of you are going to be hard on, and I agree that I was hard on before, and I've had to kind of change my perspective and my view looking at him. Overall, watching Archie and this team, it changes. When we had Tom Crean, we knew we just wanted to watch the flashy offense that we had. That was kind of what we hung our hat on and everything. And this team, while can have windows of that, it's a defensive-minded team. It's a defensive-minded coach and scheme, so you kind of have to watch the game in a different way. You got to train yourself to watch the game, and when guys aren't doing well in the stats and you don't see it on the offensive side, you also have to look back and see what did they do defensively. And I think that's where Justin Smith is, while he doesn't score or show up on the stat sheet in a big way, is able to at least contribute defensively. And he did last night. While you did see that frustration on the offensive side, he was locked in on defense. He had his hands up. He was closing out well on his man. Asked him to kind of get on the one player that they had that was Archibald, that was kind of lighting it up for them. He ended up with 24 points. I think he could have ended up with a lot more. But Justin did a good job when he was put on him of closing out on him, being in his face, taking away shots, taking away options. So, yeah, I don't know what else to really say to bring home on this game. This is something that, again, it's tough to look back on, because we see what our memory looks back to the last thing we can remember, and what we can remember last on this game is poor play, sloppy play, bad decision making, and a lot of turnovers. What we need to try to look back to was the good play at the beginning, playing some of the best ball that this team can play, sharing the ball, moving the ball, taking good shots, getting out on fast break. We had a few times where Al and I think Armand got to go coast to coast. Devontae playing again within himself and within the game. That kind of stopped in the second half. He kind of slowed down and was getting a little too aggressive with the ball and forcing things. So, yeah. moving on, we have South Dakota State on Saturday. That game is at 4 p.m. I believe it is on BTN. I don't know if it's BTN or BTN Plus. I think that's still kind of being figured out. I'll have to look and see. Check your local listings to see which one that is. So we have that. That's kind of our last real game to bring things together, try some things, get everyone healthy, find the rhythm. Then the big test becomes on Tuesday, December 3rd against Florida State. It's going to be on ESPN2, 9 p.m. Late game. Probably could be even later because remember that's the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Those are kind of back-to-back games on TV. It can kind of, if one game starts to delay and push a little later, sometimes they'll hold back the other games. Be ready for that. Just set a little extra time on your DVR if you need to. Programming note on my side. I'm going on a family vacation for the next week. So those two games could be a little spotty for me. I'm not sure what my internet situation is going to be. So shows may not be live. I may just kind of take a quick video reaction, talk about the game, and then post it that way. But if I do have decent internet connection, then I will try to do live shows then. If not, you can always tune into the YouTube channel on the and watch those videos that I'm going to put up. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at General Chadwick. Thanks again for watching. Guys, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to smile and go out there and be a good Hoosier.